Hi, today I'm going to be addressing a common question that I hear a lot from new clients that have joined me who have a new website and they cannot find their website on Google no matter what they type in. Or these are current clients who we've just built a high converting website for, but when they Google their business name or business name and location, they don't show up. And that worries a lot of the clients, and I completely understand. What does work is when they actually Google their domain name. Then, of course, their website comes up, but not if they Google their company name or their location. Now, there's a number of reasons why this happens, but I just wanted to explain it to you so that you don't worry when you actually have a new website that you're not showing up. So with a new website, it takes time to build an online reputation with Google. Google has millions and billions of websites that it needs to go through and find. They have these crawlers or bots that actually go out and search for new pages on the internet. And then they start creating an index and showing these pages to Google searches. But it takes time. So what can you do to speed it up? There are a number of things that you can do. You can add social media links to your website. It's important to connect those Facebook pages, those Instagram pages, etc., to your website so that Google has more places to find you, because it will be searching the social media channels as well. Also very, very important is if you include or you claim a Google My Business listing, especially if you have a physical location. So you've got an office, a store, or anything like that. Opening a Google My Business location, i.e. in Google Maps and on the right-hand side on Google searches, is very, very important and gives you extra credibility to Google. So those are a couple of things you can do. And then also make sure that you are adding valuable content, regular new content to your website. The more content you have, the more visibility your website will have, because you'll have more pages that Google can actually find. What else can we do? It takes a long time for Google to actually understand what your website's about, what category is it going to push you in, and what phrases can it match, what phrases people are searching for in Google can they match to your website, what answers you are supplying to those phrases that people search for. And it can take about 30 to 60 days to actually be picked up by Google, and you can speed that up a little bit with submitting something that's called a sitemap. A sitemap is basically a document that lists all your pages that is on your website, and you take this document and you upload it to something that's called Google Search Console. It does speed it up because you're basically saying to Google, here you go, these are my pages, please index them, as opposed to just letting Google find your pages by itself. So that's a good thing that you could do. Of course, the more content you have, the more pages you have, the more Google will index you. Also, something that you should just check as well if you've got a WordPress website is that it is set to be found by Google. Sometimes when web developers build your website, they set it automatically to not be found during the build phase, and maybe they forget to turn it on, or it could be one of the reasons. To check this, what you would need to do is you log into your WordPress dashboard and you go to Settings, Reading. And then you scroll down and locate the Search Engine Visibility option. Make sure that it says discourage, where it says discourage search engines from indexing your site, make sure that's unchecked. And then you save that. That is basically then saying, here you go, Google, these are all my pages. Otherwise, if you leave that checked, Google is not allowed to find you. And of course, that will affect if you will be found on Google or not. So patience is needed to be found on Google. It does take a long time. I mean, I do generate a lot of content for my clients' websites, and I do notice when I write blogs with lead magnets, and these blogs are very heavily researched and based on what people are actually searching for. And I do notice it takes maybe 6 months to actually really gain traction, movement in Google for one particular blog. So SEO, search engine optimization, That field is basically generating content, relevant content for your audience, and it's a lot of work and it takes a long time to actually get results. But once it actually is out there and people are finding you, it kind of snowballs from there, especially if it's relevant content. I will do another little video on SEO more in detail, but this is just to address the common question, why can't I find my new website on Google? And patience, and just make sure that you are ticking all the boxes on the basic setup that you should have on your website. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or drop an email at Tiffany on tiffany@tiffanycabaruso.com. Okay, I hope that answered your question, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.